Yo, what's going on everyone, Zkarma here, back with another Cyberpunk video. Today we will be talking about movement speed in Cyberpunk 2077 and how to increase it. Recently I uploaded a video where I broke down the stats page, and a lot of people in the comment section pointed out that movement speed makes a huge difference. I had tested this in the past with movement speed clothing mods, and my side-by-side comparison didn't have a significant difference. After seeing all of these comments, I had to retest this all over again, trying different methods, and in this video I will be sharing my results. So if you enjoyed this video or find it helpful in any way, a like rating is appreciated, and if you want to sub for more content like this, that'll be amazing as well. So first off, let's take a look at the stats page. With no movement speed increases for mods or anything, we have 4 movement speed. Now, this is just the walking speed. If you want to see the running speed, you have to do a little trick, which is kind of annoying, but I'll show you for this video. So you gotta sprint, go into photo mode, exit photo mode, and your character will keep sprinting without you clicking anything. Then when you go check your stats, you can see that my movement speed is now 7. So that's basically my sprinting speed. And no, you won't see the difference if you check your stats while sprinting. So as you can see, it still says 4 like that. You need to do the photo mode trick if you want to see the actual movement speed that you have while sprinting. Now that we know that, let's go ahead and move on. So to increase the movement speed in the stats page, we can equip some clothing mods. So if I equip this red alert anti-surge, as you can see, I have 4 zero drag mods. Each will increase my movement speed by 10. And here was my mistake. I assumed that this was a multiplicative percentage increase, or just a direct increase to that movement speed of 4, which would make our movement speed 44. And obviously, either or, a percentage increase or this would have made a significant difference. So in my previous test that I did, I used 4 of these mods distributed in different clothing, so I was just using 4. And when I tested, this is a side-by-side comparison. I'm running without any movement speed mods versus 4 of those mods to increase my movement speed by 40. And as you can see, there is hardly any difference, and that's what I based my results on. And the reason why this was a mistake is because the increase in movement speed by 10 is actually only increased by 0.10. So in total, I was only increasing my movement speed by 0.40. which would make my stats page only be 4.40. So now what I'm going to do is stack a bunch of these zero drag mods. Every single mod on these armor pieces will increase my movement speed by 0.10. So now if we check our stats, my movement speed is 6. And while sprinting, if we do this little trick, my movement speed should now be 9. As you can see, it's 9. My sprinting speed is now 9 instead of the previous 7. So here's a side-by-side comparison, running with a sprint movement speed of 7 versus a sprint movement speed of 9. And as you notice, the difference was very obvious. Now, moving on, another thing that will increase movement speed is going to be the reflex attribute. So if you read it, it says, in addition to increasing your overall movement speed. Now, although it's not listed at the bottom with all those increases, it does indeed increase your movement speed. So if I get 20 points into reflexes, and now if we check our stats, you can see that there's no difference. It's still at 6. However, the reason is because somehow reflexes won't show up initially. Don't worry about that. You still have a faster walking speed with 20 reflexes, and also a faster sprinting speed. So now let me sprint. We're gonna go like that. We're going to keep sprinting, we're going to check our stats, and as you can see, it's now 12, instead of the previous 9. So now, before we compare this 12 movement speed, what we're going to do is do a side-by-side comparison without any clothing mods. On the left, we have only 4 reflexes, and on the right, we have 20 reflexes. Again, without any clothing mods. I timed this frame by frame on my editing software. With 4 reflexes, it took around 10.4 seconds, and with 20 reflexes, it took around 8 seconds. That is roughly a 30% increase in speed. Because to calculate a speed increase, I take the initial 10.4 seconds and divide by the increase in speed, which equals 8. And if we do minor algebra, we get 1.3 when we solve for x, which is around that 30% increase in speed. So this time around, we're going to do a full-on test. We're going to equip all these clothing mods, and of course the 20 reflexes, which we already saw gave us a sprinting speed of 12. We're going to compare that versus no movement speed increases at all. And our side-by-side comparison is going to be no movement speed increases at all versus 20 reflexes and all of my clothing mods are stacked. And this final side-by-side comparison will be no movement speed increases at all versus 20 reflexes and all of my clothing mods stacked. That was 10.4 seconds versus 6.65 seconds. This setup that I have has increased my movement speed by about 56%. And you can see that the difference is insane. In fact, I could increase this even more if I was actually using the green zero drag mods, which would increase my movement speed by 13 each, but I only have 3, so I did all these tests with the common ones. And even more if I had an extra slot on this upper body armor and an extra slot on these as well. So yes, movement speed can be increased significantly. Just don't make the same mistake that I did and use just a few clothing mods, because just 4 of those won't make a difference. You need to stack quite a few of them in order to see a significant difference. And that's gonna do it for today. If you guys enjoyed this video or find it helpful in some way, a like rating is appreciated, and if you want to sub for more content, that would be great as well. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.